open your eyes. Like, Rich is laid up with a bitch.
Like, yeah, I trying to tell you about your daughter. Your daughter's here in the house. She got another wig sitting in here. The wig say he her cousin. She's saying it's not her cousin. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't appreciate this. Like, that. I'm hurt.
Everybody has their opinions, but it don't really matter though. You see, I'm the artist who's standing in front of the canvas. You see the paint splatter on.
What's good? Candy Cane Gang. Gang, gang, gang. It's your girl Kane. What's good, y'all? What's poppin'? What's cracking? How you doing? How you been? It's another story time. So I know y'all said y'all liked my hair. I really appreciate all the hair compliments. I had that wig on for like 7 or 8 days. So I was just, I gotta take it off, let my hair breathe. But I got another style coming for y'all next. So, this story time takes place in Brooklyn, New York, Crown Heights, and y'all know it's from the Richard era. People been asking for more story times about Richard, so sure, why not? None of the names used in the story time belongs to any of these people. Their names are being changed to protect their privacy. Their names are being changed to protect the privacy of the trifling and not the innocent. I wouldn't call myself stupid, but just young and unaware. Wouldn't listen to my mother, wouldn't listen to my father, just really wouldn't listen, okay? But I started to see a lot of things, and a lot of things that people were trying to tell me about this man. So we all know that Richard was a narc, and he had mental issues, okay? Richard was also a cheater, a serial cheater. And as y'all can see why I did the video about the condom bandit, he was a serial cheater, y'all. He would cheat with people in the area or with people that he met, people at work. And then he would come and try to blame me, per usual. Richard had a child already. This baby mother was in this relationship heavy too. This woman was running down on Richard, running down on me, calling my phone, harassing me, just a whole bunch of BS. So it's just one particular day, okay? It's always one day, literally. I'm at my mother's house, and I notice, I have the most respect for my mother and my father. I try not to curse in front of them. I try not to do anything out of the stature of a child in front of them because I'm their child. It would be like people would always try me when I'm in front of my family, okay, in front of my mother and my father. So one of these days, y'all, I kept getting phone calls from private numbers. Now, once upon a time, and it still exists, I do not answer private numbers. I don't. Because if you're bold enough to dial my number, you're bold enough to just dial it with your number. I don't like private phone calls. I don't answer private phone calls. I don't answer unknown messages on social media, faceless pages and stuff like that. I kept getting a phone call from an unknown number, and it's like a weekend. So I'm just declining this call, like declining. So finally, I get a voicemail from the unknown number. And the person is like, answer the phone. And it's a female. So when the number calls again, I still didn't answer because I'm just like, girl, like, whoever the fuck you are, you can use a regular number and call me and then I'll answer. So I goes to the group chat and I'm just like, somebody call me, one of y'all, and I want y'all to hear this voice message because maybe they would recognize the voice because I kept listening to it. I don't recognize the voice. So Maribel calls me and I'm just like, I'm gonna play my voicemail for you. So I uses my mother's phone because I'm at my mother's house. I uses my mother's phone to dial my voicemail, and I let her listen to it. So Maribel is like,
Play it again.
So I plays it again.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
So I'm like, yeah, like this person has been blowing my phone up since 9 a.m. So Maribel was like,
did you answer?
I'm like, no, I don't answer private numbers because it's always some BS with it, y'all. So Maribel was like,
well, if they can't call from a regular number or they can't disclose who they are, then fuck them.
So I'm like, all right, bet. So me and her hang up. This particular day, I didn't hear anything from Richard. Richard had the weekends off. He had Saturday and Sunday off, okay? That's just the new schedule that they gave him at the job. I'm noticing I would hear from Richard on Sunday evenings, like going into the nighttime. So from Friday night The whole day of Saturday, the whole morning of Sunday, no Richard. No phone calls. He's not answering his phone. Nothing. His excuse would be,
oh, you know that I work long nights into the morning and I be tired, like then I gotta deal with, this is my baby mother and this and that and third, so I really be trying to get sleep.
this was his excuse as to why he wasn't speaking to me for that amount of time over the weekend. So it's a Saturday too, y'all. So I'm texting his phone like, yo, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? No response. So I go and I just tell my mother, like, I used to share a lot of things with my mother. Not even used to, I still do. I tell my mother a lot of things, okay? Because I know my mother is an older woman and she's probably went through the same thing. So I'd rather get advice from her than a total stranger. So I go to my mother, I'm like, Ma, haven't heard from Richard, then this person's calling private. Like, I'm just telling her everything, okay? So my mother is like,
well, Richard must be laid up with somebody else, because there's no way you sleeping from Friday night, the whole entire Saturday, then Sunday morning, and then now it's Sunday night, and now you want to talk. Open your eyes. Like, Richard's laid up with a bitch.
so I'm like, yeah, I was thinking that, but I didn't want to think it. My mother's like,
well, start thinking it, because I don't trust that motherfucker, and that's what he got going on, because he think he's fucking slick.
In Leo voice. So I'm just like, Now, I took my mother's advice. I'm just like, yeah, like, it came to my mind a couple of times. But now that my mother's saying it, that's got to be what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. It's now Monday or Tuesday, but the weekend is done with. I was ignoring Richard because Richard, okay, yeah, it was a Tuesday. Because Richard was calling all of a sudden now, the Monday, so I ignored him that whole entire day. So here it is, it's a Tuesday, and I'm sitting at my little table doing, just doing some work. And my doorbell, I have a doorbell on there. Everybody had a doorbell. The doorbell rings. So I'm like, so I text my neighbor. I'm like, hey, somebody's at my door. Are you home? She's like, yeah, do you want me to look and see? So I'm like, yeah, I'm home. I just don't want to make no noise because I'm not in the mood for company. I'm going through something right now. I just don't, So she's like, yeah, let me go look. So she goes and she looks and she texts me back and was like, it's Richard. It's your boyfriend. So I'm like, thank you. She's like, no problem. Do you want me to send my son out? That was always her line, yo. You want me to send my son or my brother, So I'm like, nah, just let him not. He'll eventually leave. So, and then too, y'all, like, he didn't have the key. I don't know. He had a key to my crib, but this particular day, he had no key. So he's just ringing the doorbell. He's banging. He's ringing the doorbell, and then he's knocking on the door. So I'm just like, yo, go the fuck away. Like, if I'm not answering the door, obviously that means I don't want to be bothered. Go away, buddy. So he's like, then he starts yelling my name.
Yo, Kane, yo, I know you in there. Hello, yo.
My neighbor sends a text and is like, yeah, neighbor, he's starting to yell now. So I'm like, yeah, I hear his bum ass. I hear him. So she puts laugh out loud. She's like, all right, just let me know if you need, my services. I'm like, all right, got you. So, y'all, I goes to the door and I puts the chain on and I opens the door. I'm like, what? So, y'all know how when you put the chain on the door and he's just like happy, I'm just like, what? What do you want?
Why you have the chain on the door? Like, what's up with you? Like, what are you doing? Like, you ain't hear me knocking, ring the doorbell the first time?
Yeah, I heard it. What do you want?
I've been calling your phone all day yesterday. You not answering the phone.
Oh, you're angry because you've been calling my phone the whole entire Monday and I'm not answering the phone. I've been calling your phone the whole entire weekend. Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday evening, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday evening. No response. That's 3 to your 1.
Oh, so you want to be petty.
I'm not being petty. I'm just trying to get you to understand, like, shit doesn't work on your account, okay? Things don't revolve around you.
God, I'm going to work. I just trying to stop by before I go to work.
What, to take a nap? Because they used to do that. He used to hang out wherever he was at, whatever bitch he was with, and then he would want to come sleep in my house before he would go to work. So I'm just like, no, go to work. You're not coming to my house.
Oh, you must got a weekend in.
If I did, that's my business. And I closed it on his face, y'all. Because I don't think niggas understand once you you corner me some kind of way, that's it. I'm just a spider that I know I just will throw a web on you and spin the web around, and then you're up there in the corner. And I'm down here doing me. This dude is fucking crazy. Like, you think he gonna come up to my house and take a motherfucking nap after he was at that bitch house? And I know he was at a bitch house. He's gonna say he wasn't, but he was. So he calls my phone. So I answer the phone. I'm like, what?
I don't understand. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, all of a sudden, you acting all crazy and shit. Like, you must gotta wake up. You must this, you must that.
Like, listen, motherfucker, don't call my phone no more. Don't text me. Don't call me. Just leave me the fuck alone. The next day, y'all, I goes to my mother's house. I'm just sitting down in my mother's house, like, we watching TV, we watching movies on a Wednesday, like, we just vibing. I get a text message from this number. So the text message is like, Richard is a dog. So I'm looking at the text, and I look up at everybody, like, every time I come to my mother's house, motherfuckers want to fuck with me. Why? So I ignored it. I thought, I'm not going to pay it no attention. I'm not. Then I get a phone call. It's from the same number. So I'm just like, I jumped up because I'm like, nah, I need to know who the fuck this is, because now this person is actually using the number. I answers the number, y'all. Answers the call. I'm like, hello? It's a chick. She's like, hello? I'm like, yeah, who this? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out who is this. I'm like, listen, you called my phone. Well, you don't sound familiar. You don't sound familiar neither. What's your name? We're just gonna call her Jelly. Like, my name is Jelly. I'm like, huh? What's your name? I'm like, Casper. So she's like, your name is Casper? I said, yeah, Casper. What is it? What's my number saved under? It just got the letter E. I'm like, well, I don't know why it's saved under the letter E. Then I say to her, where did you find my number at? Being that it's saved under the letter E. I found it in my boyfriend's phone. So I'm like, well, who's your boyfriend? Because I'm not talking to nobody. I have a wigger, and I'm faithful. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, I was getting ready to say his nickname. She's like, this to say Richard. She's like, Richard. Because Richard had a street name that everybody knew him by. So when she said the street name, okay, I'm like, and I know it's him because nobody has this name, this street name. So I'm just like, is that right? Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. Like, I've been with Richard for quite a long time, like some years now. Me too. So I'm like, well, how long have y'all been together? We was together for like 5 or 6 years. And I'm just like, well, I was with him for 7. So a year earlier than me. So I'm like, yeah, so he met you after me. So she goes on to say that she got my number out of Richard's phone when Richard was at her house over the weekend. Richard spends the weekends with her because of his job. Like, he works long hours at the job. Now, this place that he worked at, they had another location in Manhattan, in the city. The one in the city, they dealt with other states. So the people that worked at the other location had longer hours, literally. And this is what he was telling her, that he was working at this other location with the longer hours. But the longer hours was him being around me. So I'm just like, yo, this motherfucker is living a double life. Okay. So I'm burning up in the inside, mad. I'm just like, yo. But I kind of knew it already. Okay, so Normally when I kind of suspect things or I kind of know, it's not as painful as when you don't know and you just finding out, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I was crying and stuff. I was boo-hooing because I was like, yo, like, why is this wigger playing with me? So Jelly goes on to say that Richard is at her house right now. Like, he's asleep. And that's how she decided to just call, because she sees in the phone where we're communicating through text, calls, and stuff like that. So I'm like, he's at your house right now. Jelly sends a picture of this man sitting like on a recliner chair in her living room sleep. I'm like, all right, thank you for the information, for the hot tea. I really appreciate it. So you want to play with me? Okay. So most of y'all will probably say, you know, I would have just left him. I would have broke up with him, this, that, and the third. Yeah. And this was literally in the years, y'all. Like, this was closely the end of the relationship, pretty much. This was right before Josh started to come around, okay? And this kind of coincides with the stalker for 8 years. If y'all see in that video, I didn't name Josh by Josh, I named him something else, but this is around the time when Josh came around. I'm upset. I'm angry. Me and the girl hang up. So what I do is I send Richard, I screenshots this picture and I sends it to him. This first I text his phone, what you doing? No response. So I screenshots this picture and I sends it to him. All of a sudden, Richard is calling my phone. Now, I notice every time I would talk to him, he's outside. Like, he's just standing outside. He's not indoors anywhere. So he calls. And by that time, I had told my mother what was going on, because my mother seen me crying. She's like, what's going on? So I told her, my sisters, they was all in the room. So my sister was like,
You just need to leave him alone. Like, he's a bum-ass wigger. Like, nobody don't like him anyway. Like, leave him alone.
my mother was saying the same thing. So I'm like, yeah, he's cooked. He's done. Richard calls my phone after I sent the picture.
Hello?
I'm like, yeah, what's up?
What's going on? Like, what you got going on?
What do I got going on? What do you have going on?
What's that picture you sent me? Like, where you at?
So I'm like, I'm in my skin.
Oh, you want to play those games? You want to play those games? Like, what's your location? Like, where you at?
Why? Why are you worried about where I'm at? The real question is where are you? And why are you sitting on that little recliner chair asleep? So
Richard is like, I'm at my aunt's house.
really, so if I go to your aunt's house, I know where your aunt live. If I go to your aunt's house, you're gonna be at your aunt's house.
Like, why you want to start? You called my phone and start.
I didn't call your phone. You called me.
Like, you always do this. Like, it don't make no sense. I'm trying to sleep. I got to work tonight.
Go ahead. Go lay back on Jelly's reclining chair in her living room, go to sleep, or go get in her bed. So when I say the name, y'all, he's
like, what? Jelly?
I'm like, yeah, Jelly. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. You thought I ain't know. So I hangs up on him, y'all. Richard starts sending me all these paragraphs. That's my son playing games on the phone, because his son, how old was his son? At this time, his son was probably like 13 or 14, 12, 13. One of them ages, okay? So he's like, yeah, that's my son playing games on the phone. I went to see him earlier and he actually used my phone. So people been hitting me up talking about somebody was calling their phone, like saying different things. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm reading the text. I'm like, you know what? This motherfucker, like, how did you get caught and still lie? Like, buddy, let it go. You're done. You're cooked. You are found out about. So my mother's like,
Still don't answer his calls no more. Don't answer his text, don't respond.
I wasn't doing any of that. He was done. So I goes to the group chat, y'all, and I told my friends what's going on. So Tangi was like, you need us to come over? I'm like, yeah, y'all can come over. So they all come to the house, y'all. I'm still mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still crying or whatever. It wasn't nothing like Tika, though, with the fake sig and none of that. It wasn't nothing like that. But I had did my little bit of crying before they got there. So when they get there, Maribel is the first one to come in, and she's looking at me like, Then Tangy come in, Tangy like, Tika comes in.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, so sorry.
So I'm just like, it's good, y'all. Like, I'm really not that sad like that. You know, I only cry because it's just like all these years and you want to play with me. Did you want to play with me? So Mario was like,
I ain't like that motherfucker anyway. It was time for him to go. Like, fuck out of here. Let that motherfucker go. Like, he ain't shit anyway. Get the fuck out of here. He always, like, I'm just saying, friend, you need to just leave it. Like, you found this out, leave it.
so I'm like, yeah, that's definitely what I'm gonna do. So Tangy was like,
well, I don't know what you're trying to do now. Like, are you trying to just be single and be alone? Just, worry about school and work? Or, or you just trying to juggle, like, you want another wigger.
so I was like, nah, I think I'm gonna just chill, like I'm gonna just go clubbing, school, work, just vibe out. She's like, well, cause I know this dude, you might like him. So I'm like, nah. I don't know, cause you and Renee, y'all little hookups be crazy. So Tangy was
like, no, this guy is cool. Like, this guy is really, really cool. I know you would like him.
So I'm like, well, how you look? So Tangy shows me a picture of him. So I'm like, oh, okay. He's kind of cute. He kind of looked like the game. He just didn't have colored eyes. So I'm like, all right, he's kind of cute. Not really my style, but okay. She's like,
yeah, I'm gonna text him and tell him, what's going on. Not your business, but what's going on. And then y'all gotta exchange numbers or whatever.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So she did that really quick because then the guy texted my phone like, hey, let's just call him Deshaun. So Deshaun texted him, was like, hey, how you doing? My name is Deshaun. Tangy gave me your number. So I'm like, yeah, she told me about you. So he's like, he's texting, but I'm not really responsive because I'm here with them telling them what's going on. So Tika was like,
he just gave me, he gave me asshole vibes. So I'm just glad, friend, that you found this out. And, then he didn't like us. He was always coming around saying rude shit to us.
I'm like, yeah, like, I'm arguing with him about my friends, y'all. It was just, it's a lot. I'm going to do another story time on that too. Like, he didn't want me to go to clubs or anything with my friends. I'm just like, yeah, y'all, like, this relationship's cooked. I'm not into it any much more. So let's go ahead and fast forward. It's probably like a Friday. Like, the week has run around again. It's a Friday. Me and Deshaun had been texting, like, talking, whatever. So Deshaun is like, he wants to link up. Like, let's link up. Let's go to the movies. Let's go out to eat. Let's just go vibe. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I text in a group chat like, yo, me and Deshaun is going out. We're going to go to the movies. So Tangy was like, all right, that's cool. Mario was like, all right, let us know how it goes. Tika said the same thing. So I text Tangy alone, like, to her phone. And I'm like, where exactly did you meet Deshaun at? Like, I'm just trying to get a rundown. Okay. So Tangy was like, I work at the library at the school. Like, he was there at the library. And that's just how I met. Like, we never messed around or anything. Like, he's just like a cool dude, cool ass dude. I see him like once a week though. So I'm like, okay. I get myself together. I'm getting ready for this little date. So me and Deshaun meets me at the train station. He wasn't mobile, he didn't have a car, which is fine. So we meet, we go to the Court Street movie theater. We go to eat at this little diner nearby. Like, we're just vibing. So Deshaun is like,
I really like you. Like, I can see myself vibing with you a lot more. So yeah, tell me something about yourself that I don't know.
well, I go to school, I go to City Tech. I'm a Virgo. I just don't play no games. And I want nobody playing games with me. Point blank and motherfucking period. So he's
like, okay, I dig that. Well, I'm Deshaun. I'm 22. And I'm a Leo. And, I like to have fun and just like the vibe, looking for somebody to vibe with, get really close to.
So I'm like, wait, you're 22?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay,
That's not a problem.
you are, a bit younger than me. Tangy didn't tell me that.
Yeah, Tingy doesn't really know my age, but maybe I look older or act older, but yeah, I think age is just not but enough.
I was up there, and I'm in my 20s, okay? So I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a very, very cool person, okay? So days and days have gone by. I'm still not responding to Richard. Richard was like texting and calling. He was leaving texts like, you just the person who I always knew you was. You just out there being a slut. You just out there being a hoe. Like, I know that's what you're doing. Why you not answering the phone? Like, just. So me and Deshaun just continued to hang out, okay? Like, we would go shopping together, or we go out to eat. We was going to Kings Plaza Mall. We was just vibing, okay? So, y'all, I had forgot that Richard still had the keys to my crib because he had gave me this story that he lost the keys.
Oh, I lost the key. I need another key, if possible.
Well, I'm like, no, I'm not making another key. So in my head, I'm just like, he's keyless. He don't have the key no more. Here it is, y'all. It's one night. Me and Deshaun is at my house vibing. We on the laptop. I think we was on Oval, talking to some friends of his. We on Twitter. We on like this big group chat thing from Twitter. So I'm just like, I'm getting kind of tired. I think it was like getting close to midnight. I'm getting kind of tired. You gonna head out? Like, what you gonna do? Because Deshaun said he had an aunt that lived nearby. So he's like,
Yeah, let me just finish up this little bit of paragraph that I have left.
because we had closed the little streaming app out.
Let me finish this last paragraph and then I'm gonna head out. Unless you're gonna let me borrow your computer.
So I'm like, nah, you're not taking my laptop. So he starts typing. He's doing this paragraph. I'm sitting on my bed. This is a studio apartment. It's not nothing separated. So I'm sitting on my bed. I still got clothes on. I'm looking at the TV, and I hear like my doorknob. So Deshaun is like,
Somebody's at your door.
so I'm like, I turn around and look. I'm like, the fuck. So y'all, I gets up and I goes to the door. I'm looking through the peephole. It's Richard coming in with the keys. So I'm just like, I push the chain on the door. So he pushed the door. He's like he's calling me. I'm like, what?
It's me, babe, it's me. Like, I wanted to come talk.
So I'm like, at 12 o'clock in the morning. And this is before I realized that Richard was climbing up to my window to look in my house, y'all. So he probably was in the window and seen Deshaun in there. So Deshaun jumps up and was like,
Should I go in the closet?
I'm like, for what? For what? You can sit back down to the table. You're not doing anything wrong. So by that time, Richard comes in and he's coming. Remember the wall? I told you he would look around. He looks around and I'm standing there like. So, and Deshaun is still sitting at the table. He's typing like really fast. His hands is like going fast. So Richard comes and he's like,
why you put the chain on the door? Like, why you?
And he looks, his eye went straight to Deshaun. He's like,
who this?
So Deshaun was like,
hey, what's up?
So I'm like, oh, so you found the keys? They was never lost.
No, like I found them. They was in some old jeans. Like they was under my bed. But who this? Who the fuck is this? Like that's what I'm talking about. Like, see, you got wiggers in your house. You run around with different wiggers. Like this what we doing. This what we doing. Like, okay.
So this is also around the time too where, when I had got really sick, I lost weight. Now I was never fat. Okay, I was just, really, really thick, and I had lost a lot of weight. So I was really, really thin this time. I was thin, like small. I think I went down to like a size 5 jeans. So Richard is like,
yo, see what I'm saying? Like, you lost all this weight, and now you think you all of that? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you sitting here with this wigger, you die, y'all can have each other,
So Tayshawn was like, it's not even like that.
We just not messing around like that. Like, we just been hanging out and, doing schoolwork and shit like that. Ain't nothing sexual or nothing going on. Man, fuck that. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that. Matter of fact, don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me. Like, you know what? You foul, King. You foul. Like, how could you do this to me? How could you do this to me?
And then he starts fake crying, y'all. He starts crying. And he runs out the door. So I'm like, so then he comes back in. He comes back through the door. He's
like, where you know her from? Where you know her from?
So Deshaun is like,
I'm her cousin. I'm her cousin.
So I'm just like, you don't have to lie to this motherfucker, because that's all he does is lie. He's not my cousin. Like, you don't have to lie to him. So Deshaun was like,
no, because I don't want to get tied up, caught up into none of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, I'm leaving, going up to my own house. My aunt lives up the block.
Richard he still bought the cousin. Like,
oh, that's your cousin? That's your cousin?
It's not my cousin. I'm telling him it's not my cousin. So this man, midnight, it's like almost 1 o'clock. He goes on the phone. He calls my mother, y'all. Why did he do that? My mother cannot stand him. So my mother answers the phone. She's like,
who's this?
He's like, it's me. Hey, Ma, how you doing? It's me, Richard. My mother is like,
Richard.
Like, yeah, I started to tell you about your daughter. Your daughter's here in the house. She got another wicked sitting in here. The wicked say he her cousin. She said it's not her cousin. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't appreciate this. Like, this. I'm hurt.
So my mother is like,
hurt about what? What you heard about? Oh, after all the shit you've been doing to my daughter, what you heard about?
Oh, you know what? I called the wrong person. Never mind.
And he hangs up. So my mother calls me. So I'm like, yeah, he's sitting here crying. My mother's like,
so what?
Listen, because you're going to have, people who just want to judge. They want to come in the comments, okay? If you don't know about Richard, I suggest you watch all the Richard story times before you write anything on this motherfucking video, okay? So I was just like, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. I wasn't doing anything sexual with the man, y'all. Like, I was literally sitting on my bed, and the man was sitting at the table, the little dining table on the laptop, and Richard wants to come in. I really feel like Richard was looking through my window after knowing that he used to climb up into my window. So Deshaun sends a text and was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, for what? You didn't do anything wrong. What are you sorry for? I think Deshaun had told Tangi, and Tangi comes to the group chat and was like, Kane. So I come, and this is still going. This is like 1, 2 in the morning. So I come to the group chat. I'm like, yeah. She's like, is everything all right? I'm like, yeah, everything's good. This motherfucker tried to come and ruin once again. So Maribel responds and was like, when I get up in the morning, I'm going to be in the chat because I'm tired. Got to get up early. So I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and fast forward. So y'all, the following week, this is a new week now. The whole entire week, Richard is acting like he's this heartbroken victim. He told his aunt, he told his cousin, he told the people at his job. Okay, so when they see me walking past, they looking at me. So is this guy that worked at his job? I can't remember his name, but I know he's not on earth anymore. God bless his soul. He had walked up to me and was like,
I know that you're a young, beautiful woman. I never really understood what you saw in Richard, but I just feel like, you just need to leave him alone because he's just walking around talking about you, like trying to seem like he's a victim when he be messing with, prostitutes during the nighttime.
So I'm like, what? Prostitutes?
Yeah, prostitutes. He messing with prostitutes in the parking lot during the nighttime. Like, I've always been waiting to see you because I used to see you a lot and just to stop seeing you. So I was waiting to see you so I could tell you. And being that he's here running his mouth about you, I just figured I'd be able to tell you.
I'm like, thank you. Y'all, that same day, I think I ran to BMS, the BMS clinic in Brownsville, so I can go and get tested. But I couldn't do like a walk-in with my doctor, like she had too many walk-ins. So I just went straight to the hospital. I went to downstate emergency room so I can go ahead and get tested, get all tested for everything, okay? Because prostitutes. And he was like, every night. So Richard calls my phone. Once I'm getting into this cab to go home, because I think I got out of this ER maybe like 5, 6 in the evening. He's calling my phone. Y'all, I think the cab driver scared. Richard was like,
Yeah, it's like, so you really ain't gonna apologize? Like, you just going on with the day and like nothing happened, and like this is it. Like, I knew you was a whore, I knew you was a slut. Like, and then I walked in and caught you. I walked in and caught you fucking this wigger.
I'm like, what? You ain't catch me fucking a soul, because I didn't. I wasn't messing with that boy like that. Y'all, I went off in the car. I was like, motherfucker, don't call this motherfucking phone no more unless you want me to tap dance on your ass, okay? You think you fucking slick? You up there at that fucking job with fucking prostitutes in the fucking parking lot. You think I know about that, right? And then you sit in the jelly house. Like, I was just going off on him in the backseat of his cab. And the cab driver was like looking in the rearview mirror at me. So when I hung up, the cab driver was like,
is everything okay?
I'm like, everything's great. Keep going. But yeah, y'all. So I went to the group chat and I'm telling them what's going on, because Maribel had wrote a message like, what happened. So I'm telling her what happened. So Maribel was like, he's this dude. That's what they do. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what them narcissists do. They try to be a victim on some bullshit, and they know that they the ones that causing the fucking problem. Like, Maribel's going off in the text. So Tangi was like, yeah, Deshawn was telling me everything that was going on. So I was like, yeah, like, it was crazy. So Tangi was like, but I'm kind of mad. I was like, why would Deshawn say he was your cousin? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he panicked. He got scared, because he's not a confrontational person. My sister sends me a text and she's like, I just seen Richard at the pharmacy, and Richard, was acting all nice. And then all of a sudden he starts asking me about this guy, like this tall brown skinned guy. And is it our cousin? So he's just going around questioning my siblings, because then he asked my brother. And then when he seen my father, he tried to conversate with my father, but he didn't get that far to ask my father. So I'm just like, it's crazy how he's trying to act like a motherfucking victim when you're living a double life. So it was done. I was done there. That's when the relationship was over with. And I know I should have been broke up with this man. Like, but prostitutes? Really? So y'all, a couple of days, not even a few days, like it's weeks now, okay? Rich is still trying to get in contact. Like, he's still trying. So I told him one day I seen him. I'm at the corner store, and this is when it turned into stalking. I'm at the corner store. I'm coming out the corner store. He's in front of the store. So when I come out, he's like,
Kane.
so I turn around. What? Why are you standing here? He's like,
I just wanted to talk, like, because I noticed whenever I call you on the phone, like, you just goes off on me. We don't get a chance to conversate.
what do you want to conversate about? What do you want to conversate about? And then, y'all, this girl Jelly was pregnant by Richard multiple times. She was still texting my phone, showing me, sonograms where she had miscarried, or Richard would tell her that he didn't want to be a father. Whatever BS he was telling me and this girl was pregnant at the same time, y'all. I'm just like, I was completely done. Everything in one big bowl, like, together, I was done. Like, I don't want nothing else to do with you, buddy. Like, you are clipped. You're finago. You're done. Finito. You're finished. So he's like,
Just lying. Like, I don't know why you sitting and listen to that shit. She's lying.
where does she get a picture from of you sitting on a motherfucking couch? Then you want to tell me it's your son texting my phone because he likes to play games. I don't have time for games from you, your son, from this bitch, from nobody. I don't have time for it. And it seems like that's all. People that's affiliated with you, that's all y'all about. So, and then you're going around your job and around the whole neighborhood over there telling people, you caught me having intercourse with somebody. You walked in and caught that. Like, that's a lie. You didn't catch me doing anything. I was sitting on the bed. I had literally told this wigger, I'm ready to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, what time you plan on leaving? So I don't understand why you walking around telling people that, and then you're questioning my family, asking them if this dude is a cousin of mine or whatever. After I literally said to you, it's not my cousin. The kid is lying. The kid is scared of you.
Well, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. Like, I've never been through no shit like this before.
Well, really? So what have you been through? The prostitutes in the parking lot at night at your job? Y'all, once I told my mother that, my mother was like,
that I better not see that wigger nowhere, near this motherfucking door, near this apartment, nowhere.
you know what I'm saying? Because I told you my mother never liked him from day one. So my father, daddy came, we don't really tell him certain things that be going on with these wiggers, y'all, because my father, he don't have a chill button at all. So we didn't tell him, but this particular day he heard it, like he's overhearing it. He's like,
I knew that motherfucker wasn't I tell you one motherfucking thing. Bring his buttly looking ass over here again. I'm gonna fuck his ass up. I'm not playing. So somebody better let him know. Somebody better let him know, because I don't play that shit. Fucking around with my daughters. I don't play that shit.
So my mother was like, just calm down, daddy can't. It's done with. He's not coming back around.
He better not. He better not. I tell you that much. I tell you, I put my foot so far up his ass.
So that was it, y'all. And me and Deshaun, I stopped seeing Deshaun. Like, I think Deshaun was really, really scared. So he stopped coming around, y'all. It was crazy. He stopped coming around. I'm just like, damn, like, ever since that, I got some thicker curtains. Because, my curtains was not that thick. And I had the blinds, like, up, halfway. So Sassy could be in the window. So, yeah, y'all. Richard. I can't stand this motherfucker. But that's the end of this story time, y'all. So if you like this story time, give this video a thumbs up and leave some comments. Okay? Leave some comments. I gotta respond. I gotta start responding. I told y'all the comment section has went really boo-boo. I'm taking my time though. I'm responding to everybody. I'm not ignoring nobody. I'm getting to all of y'all. I appreciate every last one of y'all. I appreciate all my new subscribers. I appreciate the engagement, the interaction, even with the last video, or the video before this one. I appreciate everybody's response. The negativity, I don't appreciate. I'm saying, but yeah. If you didn't like this story time, give this video a thumbs up. And I don't need your comments. You can just click right on up out of here and leave. Wherever you at in this crazy ass world, because this world is still crazy. It's never gonna change. Look to the motherfucker to the left of you, and look to the motherfucker to the right of you. You decide which one you want to tell, but make sure you tell them. Don't forget. Don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell the animals, to tell the neighbors, to tell everybody that the cane is on the fucking tube. Peace. I love y'all.
Rolling snowballs, saying no pressure when the pressure's still on. It be a cold day in hell for I let you slide on me, ride on me, now that ain't what's up. It be a cold day in hell for you ever see me weak or seem like I'm down on my luck. I said it be a cold